Alright, here we are. We're in Jacksonville. Head to Fort Lauderdale. A little bit of a lineup here. This looks to be a lot of fun. So, yeah. A lot of fun here. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. We got a lot of traffic. A lot going on. An inaugural flight out of Jacksonville. It's a legacy flight. Silver Air doesn't fly in any longer, but we have it in the flight schedule, so it is a legacy flight. All right. Are we in? Yeah. Wait. Hold on now. Let's get the ground. Just make sure we got everything. We gotta get our landing gear. Needs to be down. Didn't set all this stuff before hotel. Hopefully that doesn't screw things up. Coming up here, pump. We're not going to turn the beacon on. Wing light, yes. Beacon, no. And last I saw, the wing light's not working anyway on the 72. 42, yes. 72, no. Let's go get our flight plan. Soggy. We're going to Soggy first. I love it. Okay, good. All right. One thing that we did that you guys need to remember to do, and bear with me, I'm going to go to general options really quick. Go to experimental. Make sure this use nano VG for XML gauges is off. On the 72 in particular. That is causing screen freezes. And if your flight screen, freezes up, or if your screens freeze up during flight, go back to that, turn it on and turn it off, toggle it, and then save and apply and get back in the cockpit. Everything will go blank. You'll still be flying the airplane. You'll have to put in a new flight plan. But other than that, you won't have to disconnect your flight. Had it happen. So yeah, anyway, let's stay focused. Ramp fuel, we need so for those of you who want to know why I am not just hitting set fuel, let's go ahead and hit set fuel. We know we need 2,037 kilos. I'll hit set fuel. I'll show you what happens. This goes off, and why does the master caution light go off? Because down here we have a light that says fuel unbalanced. So if you find yourself hitting the set fuel and like, why doesn't the master caution like why is there a beep? And then we go to the fuel and look at this. We have an imbalance. Yeah, that wasn't a problem before the update. And then they had a chance to correct it on 49. Version 49, no, they didn't correct it. So what do you have to do? Well, you have to go into the sim software, and you have to go into weight and balance. And you can see it uneven right here. So what did I say I needed? We need 2,037 kilos. So I'm going to zero in on fuel on board right here. On the middle console, the engine warning deal here. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and then we're just gonna slide the slider down, and 2060 is good, and away we go. And so that's how we do it. And then voila, we have the imbalance is gone, the imbalance light is gone, and the caution light is gone. Oh, excuse me, and the caution light is now gone. So two very important things for screen freezes and weight imbalance. And I may just cut the video right here and post that first 4 minutes so people can see the solution to screen freezes as well as weight fuel imbalance. We move on. So we've set the fuel. Let's now go to the payload, load the aircraft. There's our fuel. Let's go start. Perfect. Set the trim. Should come in 1.3, 1.3. That's fine. Someone just gave us an ACARS, thankfully. Yeah, so we're looking really good here. Let's go ahead and go through. Let's start the company ACARs. We do the company ACARs after we set the fuel, so we're all good there. Comms are set. We're not gonna have. I do want Ormond Beach. I do want the VOR to Ormond Beach. I should have this on the OFP. Why isn't this coming in for me? $12.6. I think we're going to get runway 8, so I want to pull down the ILS for runway 8 really quick. Like, why are you going to do that? You're not coming in. You're taking off. Why are you going to need it? Because what if our engine goes out? 110.7. Whoops. Well, what if they give you another runway? Well, then we'll deal with it then. But I think if I have an emergency, I'm pretty much going to declare what I need. Okay, here we go. And what is it? 7.7? Let's just go to the course. Overkill, you might say. I'm okay with that. Okay, there we go. We're on 7.7. Let's go back. Oop, wrong one. All right. So we have now the ILS in the active. So bearing 1, bearing 2. And we have, let's, on number 2, let's put in the Ormond Beach. That will be our second waypoint. I have yet to look at my clearance yet, but I will in a second. We do have India. India is on board. How nice. Okay, so we have India. Let's go ahead and set a couple things. We do have some high pressure sitting on us. 03. So we're good there. Let's go heading in IAS. Let's go ahead and take a look at ACARs. Okay, here we go. Departure. Hey, it's not amended. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're going to squawk 7635. Let me write this down. Sorry, 7635. I got to look down. Departure is going to be 124.9. Yep, we got that. Altitude. Yeah, we're going to go 3,000 feet. And we're going to expect 1.7 and 10. And the route, like I said, we're clear, so we're all good. I think we're going to go on runway 8, given the wind. Let's just get back to the wind. Yeah, 080. So, here we go. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy in. Runway 8. And it's not the Jack 7, it's the Soggy. It's the Soggy 3. What's the transition? It says none. Because I think there's only one. Yep. It's the, wow, we're going to fly right over Craig, Soggy, and then the VOR at Ormond Beach. And then we get into JIPOD, which just happens to be, we'll put in the ILS. We're going to be on the Tarpon 3. I'm going to put in Hollid. And we're coming in on the JIPOD. Bambo. We're set. Why did I put in Hollid? Well, Hollid is the it's the furthest waypoint out on the ILS, and so he's or she will not clear us, will not vector us in. I mean, it just creates a line for me. That extends further out to where I can have some sort of visual reference, because there's no way that will come in after Hollid. we'll get vectored in somewhere in between, probably Gamby and Warrior, is my take. Yeah. Okay. And we have the missed approach. So, man, we're looking good. We are looking good. Am I going to clear that continuity down there? No, it's not. It doesn't play well. We need to keep that discon in there because it is vectors. This is pretty simple here. We're just going to take off runway heading, and they're going to clear us to Craig or Soggy. So, it is what it is. We're going to get radar vectors, and then away we go. So here it is, 3,000 feet. We're going to climb on assigned heading, radar vectors, and we're going to join the Craig. I see it. We're going to join the Craig 140 to Soggy. So we're really not expected to go to Craig. I mean, we could, and then fly the 140. But anyway, we need to be able to get on that. So it's probably a good idea for me to put Craig in, and that's 114.5. So let's do that. 114.5. This is the first time I've looked at the Soggy, so I'm glad I'm deciding to look at it for the first time. Okay, ground point niner. Wow, that's interesting. Do I have ground point niner in there? I do not.
Runway 8 for departure. Give me a call when you're ready for taxi.
And then we'll call you for taxi for Delta security.
Good evening, Ronald Delta 4860 with you.
Delta 4860, good evening, Jack's ground up. Taxi to the terminal via Alpha Hotel.
Alpha Hotel, Delta 4860.
All right, so
ground, I'm ready to receive those taxi instructions with information in India.
you are.
For Delta 3014, sorry about that.
Transponder code. Let's go ahead and get our transponder code in.
Delta 3014, runway 8, taxi via Juliet Alpha Lima.
Taxi via Juliet Alpha Lima for Delta 3014, thanks a lot.
We're going to go to 3,000 feet here. Okay, heading bug in the runway. Let's see, yeah, that's a good idea. We're gonna go to 77 on this bad boy. Okay, we got 77 for the heading bug.
Aircraft, ATIS information, Juliet's now current. Winds 120 or 120 at 5. Broken at 6,000, overcast 22,000. Altimeter 3002.
A nice little update. Okay, so we got there. Let's go ahead and I know I should probably work this out. I always jump the gun. This is what will set our top of descent. That'll be good. And then we're going to Key West actually is our alternate because there's some bad weather over there. And Palm Beach was our first. How are we going to go there is probably going to be like 12. Back to flight plan. We're good. Am I going to do a secondary flight plan to get back to Jacksonville? No. No, I'm not going to do that. I will do the diversion though from Fort Lauderdale to Key West. I will have that in there on the way. All right, so gotta wait. We got the perf. We got the route. Everything's in. Time to get smoking.
Jacksonville ground, Delta 1224.
Perf. 111 straight across the board.
Delta 1224, Jack's ground.
We need to reset the fuel.
Taxi straight ahead on hotel to parking.
111's here on the tape, and not sure why it's 170. I think that will, I mean, that's our climb out speed, but usually it's going to flip to 139. So we shall see why that evolved. Confirmed 1.3, yep, on that, we're good. Okay, everyone's boarded, so let's go. Whoop, oh, not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and close the doors. Give me the tail prop. Chocks, thank you. We're good. Now we turn on the beacon. Now we turn on the beacon. We have a pilot flying with us, virtual pilot flying with Silver Air Virtual, and we were flying a group flight, and I had my beacon on early because it's on early in the checklist. And, I mean, he was thinking I was just going to push back right away. But when I want to go ahead and look at all the FCOM, and I look at all the procedures, the beacon is like right before you push back. So I've changed the checklist thanks to some of his comments. So I thought that was really good, and it forced me to go back and take a look at the FCOM and other procedures. There's good checklists out there by JD as well. That kind of confirms that. All right, so let's go ahead. We don't need clearance for push. We remove the chocks, parking brake. Let's just go ahead and let's scope out the push. Let's go ahead and push right into this area over here. Let's go. Let's get the push going. A couple things we need to do during the push is we need to get the brake off. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and get some lights on here. We're on our way back. Let's do the before propeller rotation checklist. CDLs, right here, they're on. So we're good. FMS takeoff data is confirmed. Trims, yep, set. Doors are closed. Seatbelts are on. Beacon is now on.
And ground Delta 380 ready.
Delta 3. 80, Jack's ground, runway 8, taxi via Juliet Alpha Lima.
Alpha Lima for Delta 380.
American 76 Victor Delta, Jack's ground, runway 8, taxi via Juliet Alpha Lima.
Ground American 1522, requesting IFR clearance to Charlotte.
Okay, we're set there. How are we looking? We're clear. I like it. Let's go ahead and...
Yeah, American 1522, good evening, Jack's ground. You're clear to the Charlotte Douglas International Airport via the Bristol 1 departure. Backsley transition, then south, maintain 3000, expect 330, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.9, squawk 304.
Victor Delta, radio check over.
American 1522, I apologize. May you please repeat?
Stand by. American 76 Victor Delta, you on frequency?
All right, we're good here. Let's go ahead and...
Jacksonville ground, you want me to tune on 124.9 for Delta 3014?
Delta 3014.
We're going to start on...
3014, negative contact tower, 118.3, good day.
118.3 for Delta 3014.
Got positive fuel flow. We have green
American
and the oil pressure.
22, you're clear to the Charlotte Douglas International Airport via the Bristol 1 departure.
MP is stabilizing at around 11. Let's go ahead and go to auto.
Departure frequency is 124.9
Blow all these guys out of the way. Low pitch.
Roger, American 1522, clear to the Charlotte Douglas Airport via the Bristol 1 departure. Backsley transition when it's fouled. Maintain 3000, expect 330 10 minutes after departure. 124.9, squawk 3064, 1522, thank you.
Yeah, American 1522, readback is correct. Push and start is at your discretion. Give me a call when you're ready for taxi.
Push and start discussion, and we'll call you when ready for taxi. American 1522, thank you very much.
American 76 Victor Delta, you on frequency?
So let's do the rounds here. Let's go ahead and get our taxi takeoff light on. We're good. I'm not expecting any icing conditions on the way out. So we don't need that. TRU, yep, set. Anti-skid test. Did I perform it? Yep, we're good. Flaps set. Nose wheel steering. It's on. It is on like Donkey Kong. On like Donkey Kong. Procedures. Let's go ahead and flip the parking brake. Taxi takeoff light is on. Brakes. Yep, we got good brakes. That's good. FGCP and FMA, we got FM, FM, and our FMA is solid. Heading select, low bank, out, and flight director to the left. Why am I not putting the LNAV here in the hopper?
Delta 3014.
Because we're gonna get vectored. My guess is we're gonna get vectored. Right, so the procedure is climb on a set heading for radar vectors. So I don't want to all of a sudden get to a certain altitude and then it just make a right hand turn at Craig. That's probably what would happen if we had it on LNAV. The flight directors would move, I would follow it, and we'd have a problem. Okay, that's why. All right, where was I? I got digressed. Oh yeah, taxi takeoff. Config performed. All right, taxi checklist is complete. Before takeoff, let's go ahead and do a quick briefing while we're here. We're going to go runway 8, 10,000 feet. Conditions are wet. We have V1 is 111, V rotates 111. If we have any problem, drop in power, sudden yawing, which would mean we'd lose engine power on one side, we're going to go ahead and cut the throttle, abort takeoff. If we do make it into the air at 111 and lose an engine, we're going to climb out at V2 plus 5, which would be, say, just call it 120.
18.3.
We're going to go ahead and climb up to 2,000 feet. We're going to try to make left traffic and come back for the ILS runway 8. We already have the ILS piped into our nav as well as the course. That would be the plan. If we don't lose an engine and we climb out, it'll be perfect. 400 feet will be our acceleration. Let's just call it 500. 500 feet will be our acceleration altitude. And then 139, how do I know that? Right here will be our flaps. That will be flaps up. And away we go.
American 76 Victor Delta, good to hear you, sir. 5x5.
We'll test the flight controls on the way out. Let's just see. 7635, 7635. We're ready to taxi. We are ready to taxi. Here we go.
Jacksonville ground, permission to head to runway 8.
Affirmative. Go ahead and make a right 180 and rejoin taxiway Alpha behind the Delta 321.
Jacksonville ground, American 76 Victor Delta will turn around and follow traffic en route to runway 8.
Thanks, sir. Hey, just for future reference, on your call sign, you just need the 3 digits for the American, then put a number there. I'd say I've never seen any others with a Alpha call sign at the end of that.
Roger, I appreciate it.
Anytime. Have a good day.
You as well.
Jacksonville Grand, good evening. Cessna number 575 here, Whiskey. We're on hotel looking to taxi the shelter.
Cessna 575 Sierra Whiskey, straight Alpha Golf to the FBO ramp.
Alpha Golf to the FBO ramp, 550.
Jacksonville ground, Silver Wings 4094, just pushed back from gate 1 Alpha with information Juliet, ready to taxi.
Silver Wings 4094, runway 8, taxiing via Juliet Alpha Lima.
Runway 8 via Juliet Alpha Lima, Silver Wings 4094.
Cessna 5 here, which is the question, are we going via Alpha Golf or Alpha Golf 1?
Alpha Golf, and then you can make that left turn into Signature, right turn into Shelter.
Okay, Alpha Golf, Golf 1, 550.
So Juliet Alpha
American 76 Victor, Delta Tower 118.3, good day.
Jacksonville ground, American 76 Victor Delta, tower on 118.3.
Back, full left, full right. Alright, good. So, spoilers work. Got that going for us. Oh, there's a plane pretty high. He's coming down. So flight controls work. Got our transponder set. Are we going to need boost? No. Airflow is normal. Cabin crew? Yeah, let's get the cabin crew going. Something's going on out there, because that plane should not be that high.
Calling, say again.
Juliet? No one's coming? Engine bleeds. No, I like my AC.
Aircraft calling, you're on ground 121.9.
Alright, so we're going
ground system 5 Whiskey, thank you for the service, have a good night.
Okay, that's
Yes, well,
reset.
sir, thanks.
I know where I'm going on this. What the heck is that? Oh, it's like a little Cessna. We'll wait on the external lights, but we're good. 111. We're gonna be going runway.
Hello, ground 132 Whiskey.
KJAX 132 Whiskey, Jack's ground, Alpha
hotel.
Golf to the FBO ramp. Have a good night.
Repeat that.
To the FBO ramp. Have a good night.
FBO ramp.
Scan 1522, Jack's ground.
Wings 4094, Jax, Tower, you up?
Silver Wings 4094 is with you.
Silver Wings 4094, Jax, Tower, runway 8, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 8, Silver Wings 4094.
American 76, Victor Delta, squawk 3076.
3076 for American 76 Victor Delta.
Lights on, runway 8 right here.
And it'll be, American 76 Victor Delta will be 3076. 3076.
Roger, 3076. American 76 Victor Delta.
And American 76 Victor Delta, what was the initial altitude assigned to you?
Jacksonville Tower, it was just fly runway heading.
Yep, it was runway heading and up to 3,000. I don't know why you're climbing beyond 4,000.
Roger, Jacksonville Tower, will make the correction.
And then contact departure. Silver Wings 4094, fly runway heading, runway cliff takeoff.
Okay, runway heading, clear for takeoff, runway 8, Silver Wings 4094. Okay, we're good here, ATPCS. One, 2 was the wind. So we're going to try to keep a little bit of roll in here. V1, rotate. Gear up. Yaw damper on. Taxi takeoff flight off. Okay, let's follow that flight director.
Jacksonville Tower, American 76 Victor Delta, we'll disconnect. We're having an issue. Sorry about the trouble.
Landing gear up, flaps are up, power management to climb. Taxi takeoff lights off, altimeter is good. After takeoff checklist is
Silver Wings 4094, contact departure.
over to departure, Silver Wings 4094, have a great night. Ah! Jacksonville departure, Silver Wings 4094, climbing through 2.1 for 3,000.
Silver Wings 4094, Jacksonville departure, radar contact, good evening. Climb and maintain 15,000, clear direct to Soggy.
Okay, up to 15,000, direct Soggy, Silver Wings 4094. Let's go ahead and make the right turn. Let's go direct Soggy.
Attention all aircraft, actual approach closing down, monitor advisory frequency 122.8. Once again, 122.8.
Let me go ahead and level out right here. Let's go direct Soggy one more time. That's good. We'll put on our autopilot. I think we're looking pretty good there. Tower's down. Boy, we just got out in the nick of time. Wow, it's late. Alright, so what I want you guys to see is that our screens have froze. So let's go back. I mean, this really stinks. So we're going to go ahead and turn on and off, apply and save, go back and get our ass back in the cockpit. Alright, just so we're climbing? No, we're not climbing. So let's pop the heading bug. So first things first, hit the heading bug, fly the lateral. Let's get us back up to 15,000. Go IAS. Autopilot's engaged. Yep, I did hit autopilot. Let's go ahead and get these. Frequency stayed the same. Okay. Before takeoff briefing, we're going in the same direction that we were going earlier. So let's go ahead, and I'm wondering if we can. Now the EFB is still locked. This is fun. Isn't this fun, guys? Okay, KJAX. Flight plan. First things first. soggy. Alright, so why don't we do this? Let's just execute it. And let's go direct to soggy. Execute it. Let's come back out so we can kind of see where we're at. Alright, there's soggy. Let's go LNAV. We should expect a right turn to soggy. And we're getting it. Okay, let's continue. So now we know we're back in business. So we don't have to have ATC yelling at us, why aren't you going to soggy? So now we got that. We got our climb put back into play. Right, so we're cleared to 150. Interesting kind of look at our speed here. So let's go to climb. It's putting us to 160, which is what we have for a 42. But we don't have flap settings for a 42, but we do have 42 in the instruments here. Right, 42-600 has 3 flap settings. The 72 has only 2. So it looks like we've got a mix of aircraft here. And they're treating, all the screens are being treated as if this is now a 42-600 series. Because you could see here, climb out at 160, which is the 42, as opposed to the 170. Our flaps are up. Alright, let's get some next points in. So, I mean, we're going to recover this thing. That's just the way I am. Alright, flight plan's all in there. We can clear the discontinuity. Alright, let's go ahead. There's a couple things we're going to have to do now. Cruise altitude is not 6,000. So what I would suggest you do, go to menu, go to the top, go to init, because we're in it to win it, go to perf init, and right up here where the cruise altitude is, let's put in our final. We're through 10, so let's go ahead and, oh, interesting. So our lights were already off. No. Yeah, our lights were off. That's interesting. We're gonna have to see what's screwed up there too. 17. We're still flying strong on VATSIM. Here we are. And do we have Volanta? Yeah, here we are. So we are up on Volanta. Yes, we are. What's our profile? I don't know. I mean, that's us. Weather radar went off. We were cleared to 17. So, or we were actually cleared in our initial clearance to 17, but approach controller got us to 1.5. That was nice of them to wait for us, because as soon as as soon as we took off, they hightailed it out of there. Yeah, we've already filed with them. We've imported through, and then we've already pre-filed, but I wonder if you pre-file through Volanta. I mean, it would just probably pull it up. Probably not a bad practice. It is following me. Yeah. Do kind of like some of the functionality here. Teams. I'll have to take a look at that. Alright, so we're coming up on Soggy. There's Ormond Beach, JIPOD, all the way in. Do we have a top of descent? I'm not sure we do. I certainly wouldn't expect it, given all the shenanigans we had. And man, was it shenanigans. Okay, so they did turn off our cross feed. Okay, so what do they do up here? How do they reset us up here? So let's just go over one by one. Everything looks okay here. Our pumps are fine. Everything looks good up here. Okay, let's go down here. So the beacon is now on. Strobe. Got to turn the strobe on. So the lights were pretty much, the wing light was off. Taxi takeoff light needs to go off. You can leave the logo and the wing and the nav, yeah, and the beacon. So we have to reset all the lights there. Engine start is to off. Prop brake is to off. Thank goodness. Yeah, cockpit voice recorder is good. All of our electrical power, nothing's on there. We turned the seatbelt off, which is good. It seems like we have probe heats. Yeah, probe heats are all on. Crossfeed is off. We gotta set our annunciator lights. We have the oxygen supply. The temperature is looking good for the cabin. Let's see. Brightness. What the flood, man? That flood seems bright. Yeah, something happened with our... Something happened here. I wonder if that is a dome or something. Cab light is off, storm is off, compass light is off, standby compass, I don't know. The guard is off. That's interesting. So we're putting the guard back on. Our frequencies were all the same. So that was good. Well, we got that going for us. Idle lift gate's fine. Emergency is in. Fuel shut-offs to auto. Flaps are in the up position. We're sitting here in the notch, which is good. Does it move? Yes, it does move. So that's good. Parking brake is off. Gust lock is off. We had to turn the radar back on. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we got 1700 here in the perf. So let's go back to our and see if we have the top of descent. And I don't see it. I don't see the top of descent coming up anywhere. I mean, I see it, right? Don't quite understand it. So basically, so normal VMLBO is 166. It's also for icing. We don't have any icing, so let's make sure we don't have any icing conditions. We're 5 degrees Celsius. We're not in any precip. So I don't know why. It's wanting to hassle us here. The barometer is good, so we still are at 3002. Okay, we're not quite at our cruise yet. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Takeoff briefing, yes, we've had it. Gust log, flight controls. We did all of this, right? Before takeoff. After takeoff, we crushed that one too. We're not at the descent yet. Let me see if I can reset this somehow. Let me go cruise. No. No, didn't reset anything. Bottom line is we had screen freeze and we recovered. We could maintain our present heading. So the first things first, we wanted to maintain heading. And then, I think, actually, first things first, we should maintain altitude. But it was easiest for us to see the heading, hit the heading bug. So we had to reset the heading bug, hit heading, fly the flight director. Then go IAS, make sure our altitude selector, because that changed. It went to 6,000. I think we had it 15,000. So we had to get that IAS and get the target selection back up to 15,000, and then we can go autopilot. And then there, the speed started to drop down. We started to climb, and we had the heading good. And then at that point, once we're stable, then we go right to our FMS and put in the first waypoint that we were last going to. And we knew that fortunately was soggy. We were making fun of it, right? So if we can go to soggy, even if we had to go to Orman, OMN, I mean, it's easy to remember. We could have put it in and then go to Rex Orman, the Orman VOR, we would have been good. Drops our bearings, which are interesting. So Craig is 114.5, and Orman was 112. All right, let me write this stuff down because we're gonna fly this route again at some point. Well, I wonder if I hit the chrono. I think we did. Here we are in Volanta. I don't know if anybody is on Volanta. Let's see, friends. Do we have any friends? Create a party. Your friends. Search for users. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not freaking out. We're about ready to level off at 17,000. What's Ormond? So this is Ormond. We're 17 miles away from Ormond Beach. BOR. So let me write some of this stuff down, because we'll definitely use it at some point. Craig, Ormond, runway 8 ILS was 110.7. Yeah. It was 77 degrees. Ormond is 2.6, and Craig was 4.4, was it? 4.2? .5. So it's a Soggy 3 departure. Pretty simple departure. Radar vector SID. Pretty simple. Pretty easy. So don't get spoofed that Craig is your first waypoint in the FMS. You're not going to Craig. Unless they say direct to Craig. You're not going to Craig. They want to get you to Soggy. They do not want you to come back to Craig and come over. For sure. For absolute sure. It's just for bearing reference. I mean, what about the aircraft that don't have GPS? Well, it says radar required. So there you go. But I can actually fly this with a VOR, because I can do a radial of 140 coming off the Craig and a radial of 355 coming off of Ormond. Well, 44 miles is a little bit of a stretch, but I should be able to get that and be able to, I should be able to fly that. I definitely should be able to fly that. I should be able to see that intersection, come out, get on the radial, and then as soon as I hit the radial on Ormond, bang, make my right turn and go inbound to Ormond. Then I'll go bearing to Ormond, which is basically south. Right, what is it, 175? I'd go 175 to Ormond. Yeah, there it is right there. So you can see the bearing. I love Jeppesen charts, man. 175. There's the bearing. We're 4 miles away. Very interesting. So what I want you to see here, here's our VOR. It says 3.6 from the VOR, but we're 1.9 on the GPS. One thing to bear in mind, you're like, well, why is it inaccurate? It's not. It's not. The VOR, this is the distance from us in the air to the VOR. But this was the distance laterally over the ground. So we're basically 3 miles up over to VOR right now. So it says 2.8 miles to the VOR. See that? And look, we're at 17,000. So yeah, it's about 3 miles up. It's 2.8 miles up. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Buster and I, we like to geek out on that stuff, so it's all good. Sorry about that. All right, we no longer need we no longer need Ormond, and we're coming up to the JIPOD at 80 miles, which is pretty cool. We're actually making some really good progress here. Let's just check VATSIM radar and see if anyone's coming to the party. Ooh, I think Volanta's a little behind. I can't wait to complete it and end the flight. That's going to be really interesting. Jacksonville Center's up. It just said Jacksonville Center just came up. Where are they? They're up. Jacksonville Center's up. 135.92. How about we go to comms? Yeah. Yeah, how about we go to comms? 135.92. 35.92.
Jacksonville Center, Frontier Flight 55.
Frontier Flight 55, Jacksonville Center, hello, please ident.
Ident Frontier Flight 55.
Jacksonville Center, Silver Wings 4094 is over Daytona Beach at 17,000.
Silver Wings 4994, Jacksonville Center, hello, you can monitor advisory frequency, live in my airspace.
Board advisory, have a good night. Silver Wings 4094.
Yep. Frontier Flight 55, radar contact about 15 miles northwest of Almaville.
All right, we're over to frequency, so we did our good deed. He just went on right as we were leaving, so we just got in. We got in there. We got in on him. Took a little while for Volanta. Now Volanta's up. So I was looking at the V-Pilot. You can see V-Pilot, Jack Center came up on V-Pilot really fast. So I'll turn off our V-Pilot here. Trying to give you guys a little look every now and then. Volanta, right here. I can turn it to VATSIM, so then you can see, yep. We want to see our charts, turn them off. And we got here, there were the charts. So we're done with the Soggy 3, so now that we're on departure, let's go ahead and take a look at the Tarpon 3 arrival. Love the Tarpon 3 arrival. So we're going to be coming on JIPOD. And then we go Whittet, Ron Q, Bluffy, Tarpon, Snipper. No, Spinner, sorry. Spinner, and then I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Oh, you just can't make this stuff up. And you leave I'm happy at 191. We're We're leaving IMAP. I want to inspect radar vectors. We will make our way into the ILS for 10 left. Holy Toledo. I want you guys to see this, what's in front of us. Alright, you guys see this? I want you to see this. That right there is where the space shuttle would land. I kid you not. I kid you not. I can't believe we're actually going over it. That a flight plan would actually leave us over it. I guess there's going to be no launches, and that's why we can do this. Interesting. But there it is. That is where the space shuttle would actually land. And what was really cool, because I used to live in Florida, was when it would come in, the sonic booms, and usually it would come in over the Gulf of Mexico. And so if you're living on the west coast of Florida, you would definitely hear it. If you're living in Orlando, you would definitely hear it. You would hear that boom boom, and then it, you know, within minutes it's going to land. Remember, that sucker came in without power, so it was strictly a glider. And there it is. That's pretty cool. And then we have the launch pads. I'm telling you, somebody needs to make a SpaceX. Someone needs to make a SpaceX deal for the Cape Canaveral and have it launch. Oh my goodness, don't even tell me that it has lights. Look at the approach lighting system. I almost just want to make an emergency landing right now. If I were live streaming, I would ask if anybody wanted to make, you know, an emergency landing. We could, I mean, we got turboprops. We can get down there fairly quickly. Wow. Look at that. Let me because I'm gonna need to usually there's NOTAMs and all that, but there isn't any right now. Let me go to SkyVector. SkyVector usually tells us a good story. So let me go to SkyVector. Well, that's kind of like no bueno. And here we are. Oh, there's a launch, but it's tomorrow. Surface to 18,000. We'll be live in 14 hours. All right, so we're good. But tomorrow we can't do that. So if they would sync that, if somebody could make scenery that would sync with this launch sequence, that would be pretty cool, particularly if it's SpaceX. By the way, some of the best redfish fishing is right in here. It's right in here. Mosquito Lagoon. This is what it's called. Mosquito Lagoon. Some of the best pompano fishing is off of here as well. I think the farthest this goes, though, there's a road, and it's right here. So there's a... Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't see. Let me... So, back here... right where the clouds are is New Smyrna Beach, and then the entrance to the Cape Canaveral seashore, and then there's an island out there that you can kayak to and fish, but all of this is unreal redfish. Be careful out there, though. Last time I was there, did see a saltwater crocodile. Yeah. And then there's a ton of freshwater crocodiles out here. Just a bajillion freshwater. right in here as well. Yeah. I'm amazed that this is actually there. Oh man, the vehicle assembly building. Oh my goodness, and this is where the space shuttle would take off. We're really fortunate, what a treat. I mean, usually there's clouds or whatnot, we're not usually coming over here. I can't believe our flight path led us here, but we were cleared. I have no idea what these things are. See these? This is on Space Center property, I think. What's going on out there? What is that? This must be the guard gate here. And then there's the vehicle assembly building, which is massive. You see anything on the platform? I don't see any rockets on the platform. Or maybe that's where the shuttle took off from. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get any scenery for Cape Canaveral. But if you haven't gone, you gotta go. I mean, there's the vehicle assembly building. Outrageous. Look at the shadow it creates. I mean, it's massive. You could be fishing way out at the end of Mosquito Lagoon up here, and you could see it as clear as day. And that is a hike from down there to this vehicle assembly building. And I'm really glad you guys could join. This is quite the treat, particularly someone for me, like from Florida. Now, I did not know this one existed. This must be a backup, because I remember always seeing them land on this one. Let me go and see. So let's go ahead and look. Okay, so this is Space Florida Launch and Landing Facility, TTS. They got a control tower. It's massive. And then this is the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station skid strip. Alright, skid strip. Right here. And where's Patrick Air Force Base? Oh, Patrick Air Force Base is down here. Satellite Beach, Merritt Island. I think this is Merritt Island here, right? A lot of fun. Ah, man. I mean, I saw it in the flight plan that we would be going over, but it didn't really connect that we would actually be able to see it so clear. We're really fortunate. I want to take some pics. Is it okay if I take some pics here? Taking some pics. Something just happened. Our screen is flipping out. Whew, that was weird. Alright, our screen was flipping out, but not any longer. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't go to cruise. Nice. Alright, so we've pretty much checked everything. We're coming on in. We have an idea what we're still on VATSIM. Are we still on VATSIM? Yeah, we're still on VATSIM. Here we are. What about Volanta? Yeah, we are. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start our arrival brief like we were last time. So we're going to come in on the Tarpon 3. There are no restrictions, and we have no we're going to have no guidance, and we have no restrictions. So it's not like we're flying on arrival. It's not like we can descend via the Tarpon 3. Okay. We're just not doing it. And we have no top of descent, because the top of descent button is gone. That was because we lost all our screens. Let's go ahead and take a look at our arrival. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a couple things. Let's go ahead and put Fort Lauderdale in 119.3. Let's go ahead and set our course. We're 6 from JIPOD. Let's just go ahead and hit the heading bug. Heading. Course is going to be 97. Or 96, I should say. Okay, course is now set. Let's go back to LNAV. Alright, so course is now set. Let's set the frequency. We're already open. 110.7, right? No, 1. LS. Runway 10 left. We had to actually go into 10 right the other day, which is interesting. Coming in from, we were coming in from, where were we coming in from? Is it north of Luthra? Exuma. We're coming in Exuma. That was a lot of fun. Actually, we live streamed it. No, I did not. A person in our group flight did the live stream, which was a blast. All right. I also want to put it in our backup, but I'm not going to set anything else. I'll tell you why. I'll put Fort Lauderdale in here. Fort Lauderdale here. I'm gonna, before I get to that, I'm gonna pin 10 right, and I'm also gonna pin the Yankee or Zulu. It's the Zulu. I'm gonna pin the Zulu down for the RNAV. Yeah, Zulu. Alright, we're going to come in between Gamvee and Warrior, so we're going to need to be at 3,000 feet. So we're going to need to be able to descend to 3,000 feet by the time we get to the airport. We are now at 17, so that means we need to drop 13,000 feet. And I like to just multiply by 5, and that gives me 6. That gives me 65 miles. So 65 miles out from the airport. I've already got my VOR in number 2. We're at 111 miles out. We could start. But, yeah. 65 miles out. So we're probably about 45 miles away from our point. And if we do that, it's 40 miles, so it's going to be in between Bluffy and Ronku. Actually, just a little bit past Ronku. That will begin our descent. Okay, so we're progressing. We have our radio set. We have our course set. And we need to go ahead and set 210. Okay. MDA, you're like, whoa, this is decision height. It's, you know. Well, welcome to the ATR. Decision height is going to be for Cat 2 and 3, I believe. It's radar. It's for radar. And then MDA is everything else. Alright. Moving along. Nothing to see here. Moving right along. Do not be diligent and a good pilot by setting your VILS2 in your course over here. Don't do it. Now you could do your course if you want, but do not sit there and leave this at VILS2 because you're coupled over here to the left. But I'm telling you, what it does, if you go ahead and leave it on ILS2, put the course in here as a backup, like a good pilot should, when you get to the intercept point on 10 left, it will say wings level or roll hold. Alt will stay there. Glide scope will also stay armed. The FMS will be all screwed up, but you'll fly the approach perfectly. The localizer actually is captured when it says roll hold, and it will capture the glide scope. It just will never go to glide scope green. So do not be a diligent and good pilot by setting the co-pilot side to the ILS as a backup. Ignore good procedure and protocol. required procedure and protocol for most of the, I mean, that's FCOM and all that. All right, so we're off. It looks like we're off. No, we're not off, but Volanta has us off, interestingly. So look at Volanta, right? So Volanta goes JIPOD and then boom, goes right to Fort Lauderdale. But you know, Volanta really isn't for our flight planning, right? I mean, Volanta's just for flight tracking and logbook. I mean, right? And team and, you know, getting to know people. Where are these people going? Fort Lauderdale, Fort Lauderdale. So we got some traffic coming in Fort Lauderdale, Fort Lauderdale. Let's go ahead and go to VATSIM. And let's zoom in on Fort Lauderdale and let's see what's going on. We have 4 arrivals coming in. We have 2 people taking off. So let's see who's taking off. We have a JetBlue and a JetBlue, both going to Boston. Have a good night. They've already taken off. Wow. Who's landing? All right, well, we got a JetBlue arriving. And here he is right here, or she, 1269. Okay. And then we have somebody coming in from Dallas Fort Worth, and we'll be here in 8 minutes. So I would assume they're on the 409, which is going to be over here. And there they are. They're over Alligator Alley. I'm not making that up. That's called Alligator Alley right there. And then there's this rowdy group right here. Silver Wings. Oh yeah, what just happened here? So we'll be on the ground in 21 minutes. And then someone's coming in after us, 737 from BWI, Baltimore. Trying to get some warmer weather. We got a couple people taking off. It's good. Pretty benign. Boston's really happening right now. They got ground, tower. Got 9 people trying to take off, 8 people in the hopper. Someone's going into Nantucket. Puerto Rico, man, it's getting staffed, man. Puerto Rico is staffing. I like it. San Juan. C-Rap, is it? I just can't wait to end the flight in Volanta. I want to see what the heck it says. I like Volanta because it has all of the current flight schedules for Silver in there, for Silver Airways. Pretty cool. All right, what else are we not doing and thinking about here? So we're going to be going down to 3,000 feet, so we can set our target altitude to 3,000. If anybody knows how to get the top of descent to reappear, let me know. I mean, we started from scratch. It didn't appear, so... By the way, you can just put that there on the altitude selector, and I've got my, you can set it to where you can be looking around and it's still moving. There we go. Did we stop on 3,000? Man, we're good. We're good. Okay, so we're set there at 3,000. There is no exit altitude off of the last waypoint on Tarpon 3. I've been at 4,000 at IMAPI. I've been at 5,000 at IMAPI. I've even been forgotten at IMAPI. And we just keep flying on the vector. I'm like, did you want us to like turn right at any point? We got called so late one time that I swear I was almost in the way of traffic taking off. And I had such a short, and he basically cleared us to do a 180 turn to intercept the localizer. It was, because there's just no way I could have done anything else. But you know what, it worked. And actually it was pretty efficient, come to think of it. I mean, you didn't have to vector us all around. It just kind of one vector out west and then one vector to clear us for the approach out east. I mean, it was as efficient as you could get. Only like, and then a handoff to tower. I don't even know if I got a handoff to tower. I think he was the tower. Well, so we're flying this legacy route from Jacksonville to Fort Lauderdale. I don't know why they stopped it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so just double checking. We got Fort Lauderdale in the VOR 2. Well, we got them on both. Got them in standby. Got them in active. We're good. Let's go ahead and go back to the approach. All right, 110.1 is what we got. Final approach course is 96 degrees. Nove will be our final approach fix at 1,800 feet. Decision altitude will be 110 today. Airport elevation is 65 feet, but the touchdown zone will be 7. If we do have to go missed, it's 800, then climbing left turn to 4,000 on the VOR 90 outbound to Martz. Yep, 090 to Martz. And I think we got it already in the hopper. Yep. So there it is, 800 feet, Martz, and hold at Martz. So ideally, it would be great to have, to make sure we go to LNAV. So we'd have to flip from the ILS to FM, LNAV, IAS, and I have that done before 800 so we can get the flight director. So at 800 it'll turn us to 90, but we could also fly it manually. But basically for us it's button, toga button, ramp, pitch, 1 degree, or excuse me, 1 notch of flaps. Then we confirm that we've got the MP where it needs to be at 100. And then once we have positive rate, we feel we got positive rate, and gear up. And acceleration altitude. Well, once we put the gear up and make sure that we've got the yaw damper needs to be on, and that we turned off our taxi takeoff light. And then at that point, we do the we go to acceleration altitude, which means we go from TO power management to climb. And then once we get there, I believe we put up our last notch of flaps and then go to ramp. Well, I don't know. Let's see what the I mean, go to notch. Sorry, we were already in ramp. So once we go, you gear up, yaw damper on, taxi takeoff light off. Make sure the FMA and the FGCP are set the way that we want. So gear up, and then so ramp, excuse me, toga button, ramp, pitch up. Make sure we're pitching up. Got to get a positive rate. We're trying to be up about 5 to 7.5 degrees. Get our flaps, 1 notch of flap up. We're climbing out. Confirm we got the power settings and the power levers correct. Then as soon as we get positive rate, gear up. Yaw damper on, taxi takeoff light is off. Then come back down to FGCP. Make sure that we've got FM 1 set, LNAV in, IAS. We will already have our 4,000 feet target altitude in there. So then from there, we would then hit our acceleration to go from TO to climb. Once we do that, then we're going to hit our last notch of flaps. And then what we're going to do from there is then go to notch. There we go. Guys got that for our procedure? All right, we're now 60 miles away, so let's go ahead and start VSing it. And you could see, if I can go the right way, you can see this 3,000 puts us right there at I'm happy. So a nice 10,000 foot per minute descent is very appropriate, very comfortable. I'll leave it in a notch for our descent. We should be making a right turn to Bluffy here shortly. So remember, we're going to intercept in between Gamvee and Warrior. We did choose Hollid to go all the way out to 5,000 feet. I wonder if that's because we selected a VIA, if it torched our top of descent, but anyway, I don't know. Let's now go to check out Sky Vector and get an update on our weather. Just so you guys can participate. So Fort Lauderdale, right now, let's see, what time is it? I like it because Valenta puts the time up here at 3:22 Zulu. And so Fort Lauderdale at 2:53 Zulu was 080 at 11 knots, 10 statute miles. Few were at, okay, so we're broken at 3,200. I mean, we're almost marginal. 29908. So let's go ahead and set 29908 right now. And let's go ahead and put everything into the perf. And we're 080 at 11. At 11. Okay. Be that way. I wonder if I can do double hash to 0. Yeah, look at that. That's how it works. And now, so that's pretty normal. 11 knots. The app is 108. I'm not surprised at that low speed at all. I do want to see one thing. So look at the perf data. So when we reset the whole deal from the screen freeze, it says we're flying an ATR-72. Just beware. Beware. But in reality, we're not. All right. At least. That to me looks like a 72, doesn't it to you? That is as 72 as you can get. That's a 72-600. Why does it have a 409 on the SV? Not sure. But it shouldn't. I like it. I'm okay with it 3000 extending over there. I can draw back our power a little bit. So we're 40 miles away. We're 38 miles away from the airport. Let's straighten my heading bug out. So all of our displays thinks we're flying the 42. Our actual hardware feels like a 72. Only 2 notch for flaps. The EFB doesn't know what to do. The EFB is set up for a 42 because there's no tail prop. Oh, I'm sorry. We've already got our deal. So, look, no tail prop on the EFB. Ew, and even up here, look, it says 42,600, so the EFB reset to the 42. But everything else looks and feels like a 72. But instrumentation says, I wonder what it says over here. Yep, 42. I like the independent. I know. I know. All of the, of course, all of the Spirit wings are using 10 right for takeoff because that's where their terminal is on the south side. So we're going to be just taxiing to Charlie. Actually, you know what? We'll take Bravo. We'll take Bravo down. Bravo to Tango 2. Oh, no, Tango 3. Sorry. We're at Terminal 2. I keep forgetting. We are at Terminal 2. But, or are we? No, we are on Terminal 1, so Tango 2 would be perfect. So we're going to go Bravo Tango 2. Okay, here we go. All right, let's pay attention. Stop distracting me, Buster. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Silver Wings 4094 is 20 miles to the north at 8,000 feet, descending 3,000. We'll be entering a left downwind for the ILS runway 10 left, Fort Lauderdale. Alright, so we're going to go heading select, and we're going to move it. We're going to move it. And we're going to have to bring back our speed. So we're going to go straight for the airport. Let's just check our descent. FWS. Recall. Landing elevation is good. FMS. Decision altitude. Arrival briefing. Yep. Approach. Seatbelts. Oh. We're too busy yapping. Seatbelts, landing lights, altimeters are set. Cabin altitude is checked. Okay. Cabin crew. Okay. That's 10 miles out, so I don't want to go right yet. I'll wait until we're a little closer to the airport. Okay, let's go ahead and go make our turn. Five miles out. Let's make our turn. Alright, now that we are in heading select, let's go ahead and get us armed. Man, there's got to be like a bajillion A380s. Just a bajillion of them. Alright, let's make sure we got our lights, landing, seat belts. Alt star. So hopefully you guys can have some confidence to know that if everything goes to hell in a handbasket with your screens and they freeze up, that you know the airplane's still flying. It's probably going to fly in the last way that you left it, but you need to get yourself, you need to escape quickly, get to general options, get to experimental, and reset that that nano OG, whatever it is. Go to off, on, off, or go from off, on, off, because it should be off anyway when you started, and then get back into the cockpit and start with get your heading going, get your climb rate back, or wherever you were, your descent rate, however you needed to, you know, stabilize, and then get yourself back on VNAV, on autopilot, or excuse me, LNAV and autopilot to get to your next waypoint, and then start laterally looking as well. Okay, so now we're over. Yep, our glide scope is moving up on top of us. I'm going way too slow, and I want to go even with GAMV before I make my turn. All right, Silver Wings for 4094. Turn left, heading 180. Left 180, Silver Wings 4094. Okay, good. So it automatically went there when we hit the approach button. So it went to 170. So we're going to hang out here, going towards GAMV. In an intercept would be 120. Yeah. So we'll call the left to go 120. We're 14 miles out. Okay, Silver Wings 30 or 4094, turn left, heading 120. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer. Clear for the ILS 10 left. We got low star. A little late. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Silver Wings 4094 is 13 miles to the west, established on the ILS 10 left, Fort Lauderdale. Usually be like Silver Wings 4094, you're 5 miles from Warrior, turn left, heading 120. Maintain 3000 until established on a localizer. Clear for the ILS 10 left. Maintain 170 speed. Alright, here we go. So we captured a localizer. And now we've captured the glide scope. So I'm going to go ahead and get us down some flaps. Glide scope is caught. All the power comes out. Not going to hit the gear quite yet. Let's just try to hang out at around 160. I want to try to maintain 170, 165 to Nove. I want to try to keep our speed up. It's good practice. Once we get near Nove, then we'll get our approach speed set into play. I do want to go direct to, let's go Nove. So what that does, it's gonna set my set everything in play for the missed approach. All right, we're coming up on Nove. We're gonna go ahead and get our gear down. We have 3 green. Let's go ahead and get our taxi takeoff light on. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Silver Wings 4094, 5 miles out on the ILS runway 10 left, Fort Lauderdale. Ooh, what does Volanta have us? Oh yeah, Volanta has us coming in. Okay. Got the Hard Rock out there. A nice little rainstorm out there too with the Hard Rock. Picture time. Picture time. Snap. We gotta get back in the cockpit. All right, let's go ahead and get our last remaining flaps down. Speed check, good. Flaps, thank you. Looks like we got some rain in front of us. We know our missed procedure, so we need to go right now to 4,000. Let's keep our speed up. Landing gear's down, flaps are down, power management to take off, tail ULO speed is on and checked. Icing light not applicable. External lights, they're all on. Before landing checklist is complete. And here we are. Straight on. Oh, that's fun. Back up a little bit.
Approaching minimum.
Alright, autopilot's off, yaw damper's off, my airplane.
200.
Continuing.
Minimum.
Continuing.
Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I want to roll this guy down here a little bit. The next one I want. This guy right here. Let's help ourselves out by putting the flaps up. Let's get the radar off. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Silver Wings 4094 is clear of runway 10 left, taxiing to Terminal 1 via Bravo Tango 3. Fort Lauderdale. Let's go ahead and get our gust lock on. Radar flight control, let's speed up a little bit, otherwise we'll never get there. Drill flaps are up, trims are up, landing and strobes are off. Anti-icing. True is off. Let's get our probes off. We didn't have any icing on anyway. Man, we're going at a snail's pace. Did not set the chrono because we're coming right on it right up here, and oh, that's Tango 3? That's Tango 3. It was Tango 2? Oh, it is Tango 2. Ah. And there we are. When we get there. Hello. Brakes. Brakes. I wonder if the hydraulics normal brake. So that would have so basically I had killed the power, and that hurt my brake. So yeah, I got to remember that, because the hydraulics for the brake, yeah. So if I had the cross feed on, it'd be good. That's what it turned on. It turned on the cross feed in order to just feed us some deal here. The emergency brake, of course, could work because it still had good hydraulics. Flaps could work. That could help me, right? Prop brake could work. Nose aware steering. So anyway, what do I need to do? I need to get the prop brake. We'll turn that prop brake on. Now we got good prop brake indication. We're good. We're in hotel mode. We went over just a touch, but that's good to know. I had killed that power too quickly, and I screwed up. Had I had some legitimate controls with detents, I might have been able to not flip that condition lever 2 all the way to off. I'm sure that had something to do with it. All right, what do I need to do? A couple things I want to clean up here. Let me go ahead and end the flight for ACARS. So we're good with Silver Airways virtual. Southwest is coming in behind us. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. A couple things. What didn't happen to us? So we wanted to show the imbalance for fuel at the go. We did it. We wanted to show how.
Lauderdale traffic southwest 3618 on a left downwind for runway 10 left for Lauderdale. We wanted to show
We wanted to show how to prepare the airplane for screen freezes, as far as, you know, what you need to do to help, you know, maybe have that not happen. Of course, it happened. It happened on a climb out as well, which, you know, makes things kind of interesting. And so when you see, you know, when you can't do stuff on your screens, and the second that you realize, wait a minute, none of this is actually responding to you, you need to immediately go, you need to hit escape, you need to go to general options, and we'll do it. You go to experimental, and you do this use nano VG for XML gauges. Go on, and then off, apply and save, and then go back, and then hit resume. That does everything. That does everything. And so, and then it's like off to the races. Now you just have to, your plane will have full power, your plane will be probably climbing, descending, doing what it was doing. But, you know, if you're on final or whatnot, you could probably do that and just continue to fly the airplane. But if you're on an ILS, if you're final with visual and you can see the runway, you're going to be good. But if you're deep in an ILS scenario, yeah, good luck with that, because you're going to have to reprogram your route. Yeah, you just might want to do, you know, like if I were flying in Fort Lauderdale and that happened to me, I would go right into here. I go flight plan, I go new plan, I go route, I'd go KFLL, KFLL. I know, it's ridiculous. Hit execute, go here, go ILS, go done, and execute. Boom, warrior. And it does keep, the good thing is though, it does keep your navs and comms. It kinda did, because I had this one set to 1101, right? I had it set to the localizer, and that was not the localizer. So you got to come back and make sure that you get your localizer pinned back up and get it rocking and rolling, because it just knocked out the localizer. As a matter of fact, it knocked out all of the actives. It kept the standbys, but it knocked out all the actives. So good reason to have your standbys locked in as well. Oh, good grief. I wish I wouldn't have to tell you any of this stuff. I love this aircraft, and why in the world did they F with it? I mean, it's just, it was really good prior to the update. And, you know, we're just trying to find workarounds so they can fix it before, you know, once they go back into the other update. Because it is a great plane to fly. And look, even with some of the issues that it has, I'm still flying it. I'm flying it in effing nose. I'm flying it in, you know, tough, sticky spots, man, with ATC, so with VATSIM. So it can be done. I don't want to hear anybody that says, oh, it can't be done. Yeah, it can. Man, you can go right into the thickest of FNOs and let's do it, man. Let's go. Now, that being said, yeah, you got to be on your A game. And if I had a screen freeze, you know, when I'm in pattern with, you know, 4 A380s, and I'm sandwiched in between them, and I got to maintain speed, and I got to maintain everything else, and everything's fast and furious, and they've amended my flight plan, and blah, 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 you know, and I'm just like, holy crap, you know. But anyway, we can do it. We can do it. I love flying this airplane. And here's the quirky part, right? So once because we reset it, and prop brake is off. So these are the things that, you know, you just gotta, you know, when it resets, prop brake is off. It reset with power in the notch and fuel shutoffs in auto. So it was all pretty cool. Okay. Alright guys, well till next time. Clear skies. Oh, I wanted to do the Volanta thing before you go. Let's end the flight on Volanta. And let's review your flight. So, statistics. Oh. Notes. Screenshots. Flight plan. Briefing. Nothing really there. You've flown 0 flights. What did I do wrong? I ended my flight. What did I do wrong? It saw me. Maybe. Start your simulator to automatically begin a flight. And I was able to load in my flight. It saw me. Oh, 0 flights. Custom firmware. Set home location. Maybe it didn't save it. Yeah, I'm still learning. Still learning. Alright, so Volanta didn't save. Alright. But it picked me up, but I don't know if it picked me up because of VATSIM or because of SimConnect. So, yeah. I'm not sure whether it picked me up because of VATSIM or not. So, alright, I'll figure it out. So, anyway, guys, you guys have a good day, good night, and till next time, clear skies and warm tailwinds. Buster.